Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you want to know about sports, this is where you go. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you want to know about sports, this is where you go.
First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah.
Well, how the hell are you on this? Well, technically, it is still Friday night.
Indeed, it is.
Friday night the 15th. Number 173 of the Mizzle and Dub Show. And before we get into the, well, it's now all legal contract signings. Real quickly, Juwan Howard been shown the door at his alma mater as he is being fired after an 8-24 season. Although he finishes overall with an 87-72 record, he did get his team to the Final Four at his alma mater. But it struggled, which it's been a long time since you saw Michigan basketball have a horrible season. But they did, finishing this past season 8-24.
Ouch.
Which is, yeah, that it was brutal. So after 5 seasons, the former member of the Fab Five is no longer head coach at the University of Michigan. And some even more good news: the Big has extended their tournament at the Mecca, that is Madison Square Garden, till 2032. So the Big East will stay there, which is a good thing because it's very hard to
where it belongs. Where it belongs.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine the Big East tournament not being in the Mecca in Manhattan.
Yeah,
at Madison Square
that's true.
Good news for Big East basketball. But your beloved Tar Heels in the conference final against NC State, all North Carolina battle inside the Greensboro Coliseum in North Carolina.
North Carolina wins this game, they get a number 1 seed in the tourney. They have to win this game.
You believe
to solidify that? Well, that's a lot of rumbles. That's what's going on the radio station.
Or that's the bracketologists are saying.
That's what the rumbles are going on. But I don't 1 or 2 I'm comfortable with, as long as they don't put us in the same bracket with UConn. I don't want to see no UConn. I don't want to see no Kentucky. Not that bracket. So put us in that nice, good old East bracket where we belong, or Midwest, or somewhere like around that area, and then we'll be good. And we'll probably get to the Elite Eight at least. I think this team can get to the Elite Eight. We have that team that just gives me that feeling that we can get all the way, but we have everybody plays defense. That's what I like about this team, from the guards all the way down. And I can't think of his name right now, but it starts, I think it's Cadeau. Yeah, Cadeau. That young man is a hustler. And when you have somebody like that on your team, it's contagious. And so if he continues to play the way he's been playing, and if we just can't have those bad games where RJ Barrett is not having it, or is not RJ Barrett, excuse me, RJ Davis.
RJ Davis
is not having a good game. He has to be consistent, because if he's not consistent, then everybody's going to focus on Babcock. And then, even though he's a dynamic force down low, that man takes on double teams and still gets the business done. But if Carolina's defense can take them through far in this tournament, if they can just get a smidget of offense to go along with their defense, they'll get to the Elite Eight. But we know how the tournament is. It can get nasty real early and fast.
Well, that it can, for sure. But nonetheless, I'm sorry, I gave the wrong information. The ACC tournament is being held in the nation's capital at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
which is quite weird because for the longest time, Greensboro was the mecca of ACC basketball tournaments involving the ACC. So, but nonetheless, the Wolfpack will not be.
If you put it in the nation's capital, you can attract more people.
That's true too. That's
smart business move by the ACC to do that. You know what it is. It's all about the money, brother.
Of course. I mean, I don't even want to dare get into the discussion of what I posted earlier today about freaking. So, for those that are paying attention, as we know, starting this year, college football is going into the 12-team playoff. So, not even 2 years after this, in 2026, they're already going to 14. So we haven't even had an experience with the 12 yet. But we're just going to make the decision in 2 years. Yeah, we're going to up to 14.
Why not?
Not knowing how this 12 team is going to pan out. I mean, we all know.
Well, you know they want the more teams, the better.
Yeah, and of course, the more and the more greed for TV networks, of course.
And prime example is, I hate to use it because it sucked, but you look at what Florida State did. Now, if you have Florida State in there, now you have the dynamics of what could have, should have. It's you know what it is. It's just more money, more sports, which we love. That gives us more topics to talk about.
True.
So we do love the aspect that they're adding more games. We don't care. It just gives us more content to talk about.
Yeah. Well, there are some very interesting conference championship finals tomorrow. We just talked about NC State against North Carolina.
So you already know who I'm going for.
Of course. Interesting in the Pac-12, or the final variation of the Pac-12 before it becomes the Pac-2, but it's going to be Oregon and Colorado as Oregon ended Arizona's reign to try to get to the Pac-12 title. So it'll be Ducks and Buffaloes here in Vegas in the Pac-12 tournament. As we mentioned before we came on air, we do have a soft spot for the Davis Aggies because my man's lived in Davis for a very long time, and we got to experience Davis the football field. Haven't experienced a Davis basketball game yet, but we always do like for the Aggies to do well in any sport that they're in.
Yes. Loyal supporters.
And the Aggies are in the Big West Conference Championship final against Long Beach State. And of course, because adulting happens and bills to be paid, I can't even go watch the Aggies tomorrow. And this is messed up because last year I went to last year's Big West Conference final where I saw Santa Barbara, the Gauchos, beat Pepperdine to get into the big dance.
And I may have mentioned this on a previous show, but I did not know that Pepperdine was in Southern California.
You did say that, yes. But yeah, they're in Malibu. Pepperdine's in Malibu.
Yeah. When I was doing my traveling glazing, I had to go pick up another one of the coworkers from one of the airports, and I drove. I'm like, Pepperdine.
Yeah, you don't.
And I believe the moment I read that, I believe I text you, was like, bro, is Pepperdine East Coast or West Coast? And that's you like West Coast. I'm like, well, damn it, I just drove right past it.
Yeah, because when you think about Malibu, California, the first thing that comes to mind is beaches, and beaches galore. When you think about Malibu, California, and
listen to the name, Pepperdine. That seems East Coast. It just seems like an East Coast team, like Providence. You know, like.
But no, so for those that didn't know, you just learned something today. Pepperdine University, come on now. When their mascot is the Pepperdine Waves, it makes all the more sense now.
I didn't even know. Yeah, exactly. Now that I know that.
Yeah. They are the Pepperdine Waves in Malibu, California. In addition,
It's crazy.
Let's see here. Finals. In the Big 12, you got, of course, the Houston Cougars coming in with a 30-3 record. They're coming against the
Are
Iowa
they
State.
still ranked number one? Are they still ranked number one in the country?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Houston's ranked one. Connecticut is still ranked second. Of course, your Tar Heels are still ranked number 4, and Purdue is ranked number 3. Purdue's got a tough one against Wisconsin in the Big Ten semifinals. As we know, the Big Ten finals is always on Selection Sunday, along with the SEC. So we got Mississippi State and Auburn in the semifinals.
What a game by Mississippi State to take out the number 1 seed Tennessee. How about that?
Yeah, that was a barn burner.
I saw that.
Sure.
I just so happened to see that game too, and that it was tremendous. The Volunteers just had nothing. They couldn't hit. The ocean was open, and they couldn't even find it.
Sometimes that happens in basketball, as we well know. Also, in the other Big Ten semifinal, it is the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. The Nebraska Cornhuskers taking on the Fighting Illini and 13th ranked Illinois. That's also the other semifinal of the Big 12 tournament. As we say hello to our viewers on Facebook, Instagram Live, and on Twitter, for lack of a better term. We welcome you guys to episode number 173. We're talking real quickly about the tournaments of college basketball. Also, well, you're not wrong.
Yes, they did. As I just mentioned, Mississippi State gave them.
You are not wrong.
Mississippi State put the tapping on that posterior. That's exactly what happened.
Also, so in the Big East tournament final, which of course takes place at Madison Square Garden, it is the Connecticut Huskies taking on the Marquette Golden Eagles. And we all know how feisty Marquette is.
Oh, yes.
That's just their MO. That's just who they've been throughout their existence. Yeah, that's going to be
the playing days
also.
of Dwayne Wade being there. So
is that it? Let's go down the line. That's the top 25. But other finals coming on tomorrow. We have and Mr. Butler, Jimmy Buckets. He's also a Golden Eagle.
Indeed. Thank you. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. It looks like that technology has decided it wants to take a nice little say hello to us in the beginning, so I will hold it down. The March Madness tournament has just been tremendous on both sides, just not the men. The women have been playing outstanding basketball as well. It's just awesome. You know, you can't complain about how the tournament has been going, how March Madness has been going on so far. But as my co-host makes his return, go ahead, Deb, continue.
Okay, so we got in the MEAC tournament final, we got the Howard Bison taking on Delaware State.
Oh,
and then we got Cornell and Yale. So we got Cornell and Yale in the Ivy League conference final. In the American Athletic, we got USF against UAB.
Wait, did you say is that
in the
USF?
Atlantic 10? We
no. Okay, not San Francisco out here, because that would be St. Mary's. Yes, South Florida Bulls. Yes, okay.
South Florida Bulls taking on the University of Alabama Birmingham. Then in the Athletic 10 champion, we have St. Bonaventure against St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies, taking on the Duquesne Dukes. Try to say that.
Duquesne.
Try to say that 3 times fast. So we got
Duquesne Dukes.
In the American Athletic Conference. In the All-American Athletic Conference final, we got the Temple Owls taking
Philadelphia.
on taking on last year's darlings, the Florida Atlantic Owls. Of course, the Owls got to
FAU,
the
huh?
yes, FAU. Of course, last year got to the Final Four. Played their
Yes, they
hearts out
did.
before losing to the eventual
Yes.
eventual national champions. Fantastic game. We already talked about Houston and Iowa State in the Big 12 Conference Championship game. The Mountain West Conference for the seventh consecutive year, San Diego State is playing in the conference final, and New Mexico will be joining them. So it's the Lobos and the Aztecs to win the Mountain West.
Mm-hmm.
In the MAC, we got the Kent and the Akron Zips. So Kent State and Akron.
Kent State?
In the
Kent
MAC.
State? Okay.
Kent State and Akron. The Zips.
Is
in the,
Kent State
MAC
is
conference.
Kent State the Jackrabbits? What is Kent State? What are they? What is their and are you trying to say, or should we say Duquesne? Is that what we should be saying? Duquesne? If that's the proper way, please let us know, because we would like to make sure we say everything correctly on here. Oh my goodness, Wemby. What was that?
Perhaps he was trying to harness his chi. I don't know. What's the doggone mascot's name? Good grief.
I don't think it's the Jackrabbits. I think I'm wrong, but what is Kent State?
No, the Jackrabbits is somebody else. That's North Dakota.
Well, it's Dakota.
It's either one of the Montana teams or one of the Dakota teams.
Dakotas. Yes, you're absolutely right.
But I think the Golden Eagles sound. I think
Kent State Golden Eagles. That could be right. That could be right. Well, I've been a Shaka Smart fan.
Yes, it is
a long time. Okay, good call on that, brother. Good call. But I've always been a Shaka Smart fan. Well, he's been at what, Texas? He's still at Texas right now, correct? Is it Texas? Is he still with Texas? Where's Shaka Smart, bro?
I think somebody else is at Texas.
Where's Shaka Smart at right now? But I know Shaka Smart
currently
coached that one team. What's that one team that was a Cinderella team that he was on? I can't think of their names right now.
Wichita State.
Wichita State. Yeah.
Wichita State. No.
I've been a fan of Shaka.
VCU.
VCU. Let's go. Let's get the facts. I've been a fan of him since he was coaching VCU. So yeah, it's always gonna go Shaka Smart. Just the name just sounds good. Shaka. If anybody watched anything back in the day, Shaka Zulu. So let's go with that.
Currently, he is coaching at Marquette. So UConn's got a battle tomorrow.
Oh, he's at Marquette?
He's at Marquette.
That's gonna be a competitive game.
Yeah, he it's not gonna be no easy win for UConn tomorrow. So in the Conference USA conference final, it is the UTEP Niners against Western Kentucky, the Hilltoppers. And in the SWAC tournament, it is Texas Southern against Grambling. So there you go. And also in the WAC tournament, it is University of Texas Arlington taking on GCU Grand Canyon, or as I like to say, my mom's first alma mater, where she got her first degree from, Grand Canyon University, where Thunder Dan Marley used to coach. Of course, the Phoenix Suns legend used to coach at Grand Canyon University. And what's their doggone mascot? Anyhow, nonetheless, it's Grand Canyon against Texas Arlington. And of course, We still got the Big Ten and the SEC Tournament Conference Finals on Sunday, which will round out Selection Sunday. Also in college basketball, former Tar Heel Jerry Stackhouse let go after 5 seasons with the Vanderbilt Commodores. So he'll be looking for a new job if he wants to continue to coach. And I saw Vanderbilt at the same little tournament that they played in against Arizona State in the same day that I saw BYU play NC State. So there you go with that. But that's the latest buzz in preparing for the tournament. As, of course, we know, it'll get kicked off on Tuesday with the first 4 in. And then Thursday, the 21st, that's when it all comes together and the madness begins. But certainly good luck to UC Davis in the Big West Conference Championship tomorrow.
Yes.
Hopefully they can get that automatic bid to the tournament with their win, of course.
Yes.
Mizzle will be paying close attention to his beloved Tar Heels. Also, I forgot. I'm sorry. These were the semifinals of the Ivy League because there's Princeton against Brown in the other semifinal for the Ivy League.
Oh.
Yes. So there you have it. But now we will get to the meat and potatoes of the show as we came to you day one when legal tampering began. But now that the league year is officially underway, as it was on the Wednesday the 13th.
It's fluid.
The floodgates, needless to say, have been open. As we will head on to where we left off at. We talked about day one, so we will go into days 2 and 3, as we will go back to the 12th and go from there. So, well, if the doggone page would load on my doggone tablet, here we go.
There's technology always showing up.
You never know you never know what to expect on the Mizzle and Dub show. So,
hence the reason why we love to do it live.
Let's see where we. Oh yeah, it's live TV, folks. Anything can happen. So as we're loading, still loading.
You know,
right.
So when is the last time that we've done a pre-recorded show?
At least maybe 2 years. I want to say. Well, while we're going to where we are left off at, want to say our salute to one of the all-time top defensive tackles in this game as Aaron Donald decides to hang up the number 99 in Inglewood for the Rams. Played his whole entire career with the Rams. Was one of the last to come from St. Louis when the Rams made their trip back to L.A. from St. Louis. Certainly, as an Under fan, I'm happy he's returned because that was a problem that I didn't want to see every 2 years. And you saw why he
buddy.
Buddy. And you saw why the Rams paid him a lot of money in the 2021 NFC Championship game against my beloved Niners, to where he made James Richard Garoppolo make the biggest Jimmy Oh no throw, to which Jermichael Hasty just decides to just tap the ball in the air, and I'm just like, why? But nonetheless, when his team needed to make a play in the Super Bowl, Aaron Donald was right there once again, making a play when he needed to. And as we talked about this earlier in the before we came on air, or early in the day, we kept saying, well, it's kind of shocking. Well, I mean, it's not shocking that he retired because he basically wanted to retire after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, last year. Not last year.
Yeah, when they won the Super Bowl, but Sean McVay convinced him to stay and play a few more seasons, which is shocking. So him kind of retiring while he can still play at a high level is not necessarily shocking, but I guess shocking to the point that it took him this long to finally hang up the cleats. But
think about this. Think about this, brother. He's another great talent that retired in their early 30s. Jim Brown did it. Barry Sanders did it. I believe Patrick Willis did it.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at Aaron Donald. So and they just some of them just know when it's time to call it quits, which is smart, and you can take care of your body a little bit better instead of putting it into fucking mush. So, just a tremendous career, and like you just said, like we said earlier, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then everybody in that committee just needs to be fucking fired, and you need to hire some new brain power in there, because Aaron Donald has been a force the moment that he stepped foot in the NFL.
Again, I had to see him 2 times a year. That was not fun. I got to see him. I got to see him live wearing those hideous, ugly mustard jerseys.
What? I think I've seen Aaron Donald live too as well. I think I may have seen him live as well too as well.
Yeah, didn't you go to the Monday night game? Was it Gruden's first year back or second year back when he came back to the Raiders and they opened up against the Rams on Monday night? Weren't you there?
Man, there's a ton of Raider games that I've been to in the town. Can't remember every team, but it's possible. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. The moment that they came back, and when Pops took me to my first game, I was like, "Yep, you didn't create a monster. You didn't know what you just did by bringing me to this atmosphere, walking through this Coliseum, because I've already been there for A's game, so I know what it is for that. But when them Raiders came back, and Dad was like, "Are y'all ready to go to your first game?" If at the time that he took me, now that I'm an adult now, and he would ask me that now as an adult, I'd have looked at him now. You motherfucking right. As a kid, I couldn't say that. So for the excitement that he's telling me that he's taking me to my first professional football game, and it's my beloved team. Now, mind you, they were the LA Raiders when I was.
Yeah, first
came around.
First,
they were LA Raiders. Yeah, they were the LA Raiders.
First 13 years they were playing at the Mausoleum in Los Angeles.
But guess what?
As we know,
we already know. We long story short, it's not the city, it's the fucking organization and the team name. Bastards could have moved to Baghdad Raider fan. Now that would have been an expensive ass ticket to get there, plus getting inside there. I mean, hell, it's just about expensive just to get into the damn stadium now.
True, but
what I'm getting at is it's not the city, it's the name and where there it is. But the excitement of going to my first game. Hell, that ticket is still somewhere around my parents' house in my room right now.
Your very first one?
And on the back of it, it got W on it because it was a W.
I really would have liked to experience the Coliseum before, or as a football stadium before they put in Mount Davis, like how it was in the old ways back in the 60s to the early 80s before they left.
Okay, Los Angeles. You know what? I wish I could have been there because this is no fabricated story. Because my dad don't say nothing fabricated. The Sea of Hands. The Sea of Hands.
Yes.
He was on the fucking field. And there's the way he caught the touchdown. My dad was in that area, but the camera did not make it to where he was.
Because
it was more like one, if they would have panned like bam and came back, you'd have literally saw my dad. He was literally an usher at the Sea of Hand game.
He was an usher at the Coliseum. And he would tell you, if you see some teenager jumping up and down celebrating, that was me.
100%. 100%.
Now my thing is this. Somebody somewhere has to have a camera of that particular area where Clarence Davis caught the ball.
And I'm pretty sure that my uncle can back this up too. If my uncle is still watching on Facebook.
To which, still to this day, I do not know how in the hell Clarence Davis caught the ball, number one.
Determination.
That too.
I'll stop you there right there.
But
determination.
And
he's a Raider.
But number two, here we go. Well, I guess that would take away my next question, because how the snake was still able to get the ball up before his knee touches the grass.
Well, hell, what did Patrick Mahomes do? The snake did it. The snake did it before Patrick Mahomes. The snake was going. Wait, it was almost like he got pushed to throw it, and he threw it. Hey, yeah. I'm just a historian. And all I know is our dad was like, damn it, I was there and I should have been on TV.
Well, he definitely witnessed one of the all-time great games, one of the great NFL playoff games in history, because that was a back and forth game.
It was.
Of course, the Dolphins at that time, they were trying to three-peat because they were the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yes.
They had won.
Was that their undefeated season? Or was that the first one they won?
It was 2 seasons after so this is when they won Super Bowl 7, Super Bowl 8, trying to get to Super Bowl 9.
Okay.
So this is when the Raiders, this started the Raiders when they went to 4 straight AFC title games, which of course the Raiders finally broke through in 76. But Indeed. That ended the Dolphin streak of because I think the Dolphins played in 3 straight NFC title games, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think they went to the one in 71 against I forgot who they beat in 71 because
Was the Redskins? Was the Redskins? No, it wasn't the Redskins.
No. I'm talking about AFC championship games because the Dolphins.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Because not only were the Dolphins trying to three-peat, but the Dolphins were trying to get to their 4th consecutive Super Bowl, because remember, they played in Super Bowl 6, 7, and 8. So
yes, they did.
They were trying to get to their 4th. They were trying to get to their 4th straight, but winning. We're trying to three-peat. But back and forth, it was a back and forth game. The Coliseum was raucous as it always was.
Let's say when it's not.
And of course, one of the great interviews that, of course, legendary John Madden gave, where he's talking about he's, going through plays and Madden being Madden, just talking. And then Snake being the Snake talks about, you know what, John? And of course, Madden was like, what do you thought I'd play? He said, you know what, John? These fans are getting their money's worth today. One of the great sound bites between Stabler and the coach. And of course, the sea of hands happened. And the Dolphins were denied a chance to go to their 4th straight and go for the three-peat. And of course, the Raiders pretty much came into the great rivalry with the Steelers. As we said, this is the start of the Raiders. Went to 4 straight AFC title games, and then, of course, one of the great photos. Now, I don't know if it was Al Lacoste on the sideline, but you got the guy doing this, and his hair is all over the place. I think it was like a grayish or a blue suit, but you got that guy doing that. And of course, you got Madden being picked up with the ball in his hand. Just one of the all-time great games at the Coliseum. But yeah, that's always one story that we always enjoy talking about.
You know what? I'm gonna try.
About, damn it,
ladies and gentlemen.
If you see an Afro red coach up and down, that
ladies and gentlemen.
But
I'm gonna have to try to get the old man on here to try to explain that story. I'm gonna have to find a way to get the old man on here
going through the free agent tracker, if you will. Trying to pick up from the 12th of March, but I'm not finding the right out.
Oh boy. Are you?
It definitely would have to be on a day where we're both off. It's in the daytime because we know he's knocked out right now, knocked out
Yes.
sleep. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, definitely have to tell that story for sure.
I don't care if it's for 5 minutes, just for him just to explain that. That would be awesome. As it seems like my brother yet again is going through a little bit of difficulty with his internet, as always. Hello to the 3 viewers that are just watching me, and maybe the one that's on Facebook right now is. Oh, wait. There he is.
Well, first off, let's apologize to the fans because all week long, um, technology has become a real big pain in the ass because we've been certainly here in the Vegas Valley, we've been experiencing some very high winds, and we've been trying to do this show once every 3 for the last couple of days, but technology is just being a pain. And as you can see, it keeps wanting to boot me up for whatever reason. So, fans, we apologize. But real quick, so the Cleveland Browns hiring Mike Vrabel to be a consultant, which
He'll
is
have he'll have some form of position pretty soon. That consultant will turn into something else. Who's
yeah,
the coach? Who's the coach for the Browns right now?
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, he better perform very well this year, because it's not.
Well, you're not wrong.
That was just to get Vrabel in the building, just in case, so they won't have to go through all the parameters. Because guess what? If he ain't the Stefanski ain't working, go ahead, Vrabel. They can give him the interim coaching position, and then go through all the whatever. So don't be shocked if Vrabel is the next coach of the Cleveland Browns. Don't be.
So real quickly, one of your favorites, and I mean, I know you were expecting this to happen, but Hunter Renfrow giving his release. But just give me your final thoughts on just the Raider career of one Hunter Renfrow. The floor is yours.
Well, he got a nickname called Third and Renfrow for a reason. I mean, just a tremendous career. And just think about it. He was a walk-on at Clemson.
Caught the game-winning touchdown in Clemson's first national championship since the 80s.
You stole my
and then torched them again the second.
Yes.
But go ahead, continue.
I'm just saying, just a tremendous receiver. And then that catch that he did against the Colts, though that Arizona Cardinal game changed his whole career when he fumbled that ball.
Unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
And then Josh McDaniels didn't know how to. I mean, kind of after he made that bounce back year, because how do you not establish 103 catches in a season receiver? You lived off the slot. That's where he lived. How you not do that? So, I mean, I have Hunter Renfrow's jersey, so that lets you know how much that I was a fan of Hunter, because if I buy your jersey, you're pretty much. So I have a Darren Waller jersey.
That means you're invested.
Exactly. I have a Darren Waller jersey, and he just retired today as well. So the only current player that I have jersey-wise is Devontae Adams. And that's crazy because he wasn't drafted. Well, 2 players I don't have, and I also have a Derek Carr jersey. So, but for Hunter Renfrow, wherever he goes, which I think he's going to land in New Orleans. So when he gets there, enjoy it, because the man route running is just, it's like the Mona Lisa. It's his route running is spectacular. And if you don't believe me, just YouTube it. Look what he did to the Chiefs, the Chargers, pretty much anybody that guards him. And
look what he did to Jalen Ramsey.
Stop stealing my thunder, Light Bright. Because that's where I was going. He cooked Jalen Ramsey. Yes, it was joint practices, but it doesn't matter. Hunter Renfrow is a route runner.
If you're cooking, you're cooking. Doesn't matter.
Period. Practice in the game, you're cooking. But yeah, Hunter Renfrow, I'm a miss, man. 100%. Didn't like him at Clemson because I'm a Florida State Seminole fan and didn't like to see him. But other than that, here to Hunter Renfrow. I just wish Josh McDumbass could have used you a lot better. And you could have just stuck around with this organization, because we're going to need now. I'm going to miss him, but Trey Tucker might make me be like, you know what? I like Hunter, but this guy's fast. You got Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, and Trey Tucker. Then you pitch in Mayer. And then we got that blocking tight end from Cleveland. All we got to do is shore up that offensive line, find a quarterback and a running back. We might be good. What I just said, I know that was a lot, though.
Well,
but to close it out, gonna miss Hunter. Going to really miss Hunter, and I'm still gonna wear his jersey. Just like I'm still going to wear Darren Waller's jersey, because both of those players, before they left this organization, left a stamp. So, yeah. Shout out to Third and Renfrow. Slot God, as he was get the moniker. Not calling him the Messiah, but he got the nickname or the slot machine. Definitely the slot machine. How do you feel about Deebo Samuel switching to is he switching to number 1? Is he
he's going back to his college number when he was a South Carolina Gamecock, so it makes all the sense in the world.
It costs a lot of money to switch that jersey number, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got enough to buy out all the remaining number 19 jerseys. He's got the money for it. There's no question about that. So I guess I'll give my let me just say this. Outside of the football player, as far as what Eric Armstead did in the community in the Bay Area and in Sacramento, because he is from Sacramento, California. I definitely would say better human being than a football player. He kind of overachieved, and I've been saying this. And again, this is no knock on Eric Armstead, which he got a 3-year deal from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So now he'll be taking his talents to Duval.
Nice,
but he basically stole DeForest Buckner's money.
You won't let that go. You will not let that go.
No, because just like you in a certain football game, you can't let it go. I can't let go. You can't let go of that. I can't let go of the damn Alvin Harper slant in the mud and candlestick. Jim Burt and Leonard Marshall trying to kill my Hall of Fame quarterback in the middle hands and candlestick. But no, it's just him and D Ford stole DeForest Buckner's money away from him.
Yeah.
Stole
Yeah,
it.
true.
Now, the last few years, he's been hurt by injuries, which did not help.
No.
But again, I mean, the Niners resigning Kevin Gibbons does help. But I mean, the Niners getting who they got from the Texans, you can plug them right in there with Justin Hargraves. You got Floyd and you got Bosa at the edges, so I mean, you're okay. Then they signed some linebackers, so we'll just do this by the team. So right now, here we got. So for the Cardinals, Justin Jones, 3 years, $30 million. Sean Murphy Bunting coming from the Titans to the Cardinals, 3 years, $25 million. Mac Wilson, linebacker. Tristan Colon, offensive lineman. DJ Dallas getting a new start, staying in the division, but now going to the other birds, the Cardinals.
Good for him.
3-year deal.
Good for him.
Keith Ismail, 1-year deal. Jonah Williams, former Bengal, coming to Arizona. Elijah Wilkinson, 1-year deal. Aaron Brewer, 1-year deal. Blake Gillikin, 2-year deal. And Desmond Ridder traded from the Falcons to the Cardinals for wide receiver Rondell Moore. So Kirk Cousins is getting some target. And speaking of Atlanta, we already know about Kirk Cousins. They also get Darnell Mooney from the Bears, 3 years, $39 million.
Just help him out.
Yeah, right. Just give Drake London and Kyle Pitts some more options, along with Bijan Robinson. Former 49er, but he went to college at Georgia. Charlie Warner, 3-year deal, $12 million, so he heads back home to Georgia.
Makes sense.
Liam McCullough re-signed as a long snapper. Nate Landman re-signs with the Falcons. Ryan Uziel re-signs with the Falcons at offensive lineman. Of course, for the Ravens, we already know that Justin Mabuki signed for 4 years, $90 million, which, of course, gave Chris Jones a bigger payday. Of course, we know Derrick Henry will be taking his talents to where the
Watch out now. Watch out now.
Malik Harrison re-signed with the Ravens along with Brent Urban, and Nelson Aguilar re-signs with the Ravens to stay in Baltimore. The Bills. A.J. Espinoza stays for 2 years. Daquan Jones, 2 years. Nicholas Morrow, former Raider, signing with the Bills for 1 year. Deion Dawkins resigns, the big, great offensive tackle. He resigns for a 3-year deal. Mitch Trubisky returns back to the Bills to back up Josh Allen. David Edwards, a 2-year extension. Cam Lewis, a 2-year extension. Former Raider Mac Hollins signing a 1-year deal with the Bills. And Taylor Rapp signing a 3-year extension, the safety for the Bills. For the Panthers, one of the coveted offensive linemen in this offseason, former Dolphins guard Robert Hunt, 5 years, $100 million to go to Carolina. Guard Damian Lewis, 4 years, $53 million. Ashawn Robinson, defensive tackle, 3 years. Josie Jewell, linebacker, 3-year deal. Troy Hill resigns with the Panthers for 1 year. J.J. Lanson resigns 1 year. Deontay Johnson traded from the Steelers to the Panthers to give Bryce Young another target. Dane Jackson, 2-year deal. DJ Wonnum, 2-year deal. And Kalavion Chesson, 1-year deal for Carolina. For the Bears, their biggest signing to bring back Jalen Johnson, 4 years. Of course, DeAndre Swift joining the Bears as a free agent. Ryan Bates came in the trade. Gerald Everett, longtime Ram and Charger, 2 years, signs with the Bears. Of course, they added Kevin Byard. Jonathan Owens, 2-year deal. Patrick Scales, long snapper, 1-year deal. Brett Rippon, yes, the son of former Super Bowl MVP Mark Rippon, signing a 1-year deal.
Still kicking in NFL. Good for him.
Yeah. And Ogabana Biami. Well, okay, here's his last name. BongBmiga. Try to say that 3 times fast, but he sent a 1-year deal.
Not going to do it.
Matt Pryor, offensive lineman. He resigns and Coleman Children Center, 1-year deal for the Bears. Now, we know T. Higgins has been franchise tagged with Cincinnati. Geo Stone, former Raven, comes to the Bengals for 2-year deal. Zach Moss leaves the Colts to come to Cincinnati for a 2-year deal. Mike Gesicki signs with the Bengals for a 1-year deal. Drew Sample, tight end, signs for a 1-year deal. Cody Ford. Yeah, he's a good one. Cody Ford, guard, signs a 1-year deal. Von Bell, former safety, signs a 1-year deal. Sheldon Rankins, 2 years, $26 million, and Akeem Davis Gaither resigns at linebacker for Cincinnati. For the Browns, we know that Country K's favorite quarterback, Jameis Winston. Shout out to Country K, part of the All-Pro Joffos. If he was here, he would go on a huge tyrant of one Jameis Winston. But he's 1 year, but he's signed a 1 year deal to be the backup to Deshaun Watson. But the big signing for the Browns is re-signing Zadarius Smith for 2 years to keep him at the edge alongside Myles Garrett. Jordan Hicks, linebacker, 2 years deal. Guard Michael Dunn resigns. Of course, they added Jerry Jeudy with a trade from the Browns, and Adam Troutman resigns at tight end for the Browns. For the Cowboys, only 2 signings thus far. Trent Siege, the long snapper, 1 year deal, and Eric Kendricks, who originally signed with the Niners, but decides to go to the Cowboys, where, of course,
hold my brakes.
Yes, as he re-signed, or he went to go play with his former head coach in Mike Zimmer, who, of course, now is the Cowboys offensive coordinator. And I know Mr. Dawson is very happy. Of course, that is the man known as Clifford, because he's been begging for years for the Cowboys to release Michael Gallup, and they did. And they did release Michael Gallup, and they also released Vander Esch. So if anybody needs a linebacker,
well,
Vander
we
Esch
understand why Vander Esch got released. He can't stay healthy throughout the year. He's a liability. So that was a smart move.
That's true. And, of course, creates cap space for the Cowboys.
Indeed.
For the John Elways, as we like to say, Mike Burton, fullback, signs a 1 year deal. Malcolm Roach, defensive tackle, 2 years, $8 million. Safety, Brandon Jones, 3 year deal. PJ Locke, 2 year deal. Will Lutz, longtime Saint, resigns with the Broncos. Of course, his second season with Denver. And LaJordan Humphrey, wide receiver, resigns with the Broncos. For the defending NFC North champions, the Detroit Lions, first off, they extended head coach Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, the GM, to deals up until 2027, which, of course, well-earned, well-deserved. Ever since we started this show, known as the Mizzle Dub Show, Mizzle and myself have been very high on the Detroit Lions. We kept telling y'all they were coming. And obviously you saw how far they came. They had my beloved 49ers on the ropes in the NFC Championship game. Some people might say they should have won the game against the Niners, but did not. But the Lions are only going to build that. We also said the Lions were not going to be one-year wonders. They're going to be good for a long time. And thus, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, rightfully so, getting properly compensated and getting extensions to keep the program going in Detroit for the Lions. So, as far as the Lions goes, Graham Gaskell, 3 years, $20 million. Meek Robinson, former Raider, as Mizzle broke that, 2 years for $9.25 million. Marcus Davenport, former Saint, joins the Lions. Jalene Reeves-Maben, 2 years. Emmanuel Mosley, former 49er, re-signs with the Lions. Carlton Davis traded from the Buccaneers to the Lions for draft picks, and Michael Badgley, kicker, re-signs for the Lions. While you were away handling business, we talked about how Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell got extended, which well-earned and rightfully so.
Yeah. And I will also piggyback and say that I will be one of the ones that will raise my hand and say the Lions should have beat the Niners.
Of course you would.
If Dan Campbell just takes the fucking 3 points, I would not have to see a fucking Kansas City Chiefs and a Niners Super Bowl. Just saying. Take the points. You guys couldn't do shit. You couldn't do shit. Dan Campbell handed you guys your interest in the Super Bowl. And I'll say that this year, next year, the year after that. If anybody ever asks me about the NFC Championship game between the Niners and the Lions, I'll be like, Dan Campbell dropped the ball.
Okay. What are you willing about Will Franklin? And no, Galen, he did not go to practice. He had to go pay the water bill, if you know what I mean. That's Will Franklin and Galen on my Facebook page as we are live on Mizzle's Facebook page, my Facebook page, and of course on Twitter, and of course on YouTube and our Instagram live page.
Hey,
Welcome
just
to the
mind your
Mizzle Dub
business.
Show.
Mind your business. That's all you gotta do. Just mind your business, and know that we're giving you all kind of content. But we won't answer your questions, but still mind your business.
I'm surprised he has not said his favorite animal yet, as he's been doing for the last few shows. But shout out to one of the tall bastards known as Galen. So, to the Packers, Xavier McKinney, former Giant, joins the Packers. Tyler Davis, tight end, resigns. Corey Ballantyne resigns with the Packers. And Keeson Nixon comes back to the Packers. And, of course, Josh Jacobs joining the Pack for 4 years, $40 million. But here's the team that has added some pieces who might make a run for it in the AFC, the Houston Texans. They get the trade for Joe Mixon, and then they gave Joe Mixon a 3-year extension. They re-signed Dalton Schultz. They add Azeez Al-Shire to reunite with D'Amico Ryans. Jeff Okuda comes for a 1-year deal. Danico Autry, a 2-year deal. But I'll talk about that last. Mike Ford, cornerback, 2-year deal. Lonnie Johnson, 1-year deal. Desmond King resigns. Kai Farbian, the kicker, signs for a 3-year deal. Eric Murray resigns for the Texans. But perhaps one of the biggest signings was Danielle Hunter, the longtime Minnesota Viking, signing to join the Texans for 2 years to really enhance that defense and D'Amico Ryans. That could be really, really scary. Moving on to the Colts. Colts, they re-signed Michael Pittman after they franchise tagged him. So 3 years, $70 million for Michael Pittman. Grover Stewart, defensive lineman, 3-year deal. Zaire Franklin resigns, stays with the Colts for 3 more years. As we say hello to Mr. Samuel Hall for tuning in on the on one of the Facebook pages. Welcome, Sam. How are you? Rigoberto Sanchez, punter, stays on or re-signs to the Colts. Kenny Moore, quarterback, 3 years, $30 million. Joe Flacco coming to back up Anthony Richardson, 1-year deal. The comeback player of the year with the Cleveland Browns. So Flacco joining the Colts. Tyquan Lewis and Gennard Avery both re-signing with the Colts. And Duval and Jacksonville getting former Bills receiver Gabe Davis to complement Christian Kirk. And I forgot the doggone tight end's name. And it's right there. And it's right there on my tongue, but I can't think of the doggone tight end's name. Evan Ingram. What's wrong with me? Evan Ingram, the tight end. Josh Allen coming back to the Jaguars for 1 year. Former Bill center Mitch Morse. Darnell Savage joining the Jaguars. Dearness Johnson re-signing with the Jaguars. Of course, he was the fantastic story with the Cleveland Browns a couple of years ago. Devin Duvernay leaving the Ravens to be the kick returner for the Jaguars. As just mentioned, Eric Armstead joining Jacksonville. Ronald Darby re-signing with the Jaguars. And a move that boggles my mind. And Debo, if you're watching, screw you. But Mac Jones being traded to backup Sunshine in Jacksonville, which you know what, asshole? You know what, asshole? We're not doing this. We're not doing this. No. We're not doing this. Do not give Debo any fuel. No. We're not doing this. Anyhow, for the team that Mizzle despises that plays in Kansas City, we already talked about Chris Jones getting paid by way of
Hollywood
the deal
Brown. Though.
Yeah, that's gonna make
huge.
Patrick Mahomes smile. Yeah, that's really huge.
That's a slight version. A slight. I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill, but that's like it could be like a version of Tyreek Hill.
Well, he is a fast man without question. L'Jarius Sneed got a franchise swag, as you know. Drew Tranquill, 3-year deal. Irv Smith Jr. joining the tight end bunch in KC. Matt Areza, punter, getting the league minimum. Deion Bush re-signing with the Chiefs defensive back. Bush. And, of course, one of the guys that you wanted, one of the 3 guys that you were requesting, you got one of them. Christian Walker, 4 years to be tag teaming with one Max Crosby on the defensive front, which means somebody's going to eat because Somebody's going to draw a double team, and someone's going to have one-on-one. That's what we do know.
Well,
But,
they had to combine. If they were on the same team, I think they would have had close to 30 sacks combined. And Wilkins can stop the run.
Well, one thing's for sure. Rich Eisen on his show definitely gave praise for this tremendous signing that Tom Telesco did in adding this man to the defensive front. The tag team with that. Also, the mustache, Gardner Minshew, 2-year deal to come to the Silver and Black. Of course, we already talked about Andre Jane re-signing.
Okay. Hold on. And hold on.
Is that the High Life?
No. It's still the Michelob Ultra, but it's the pure gold.
Oh,
yeah, no,
fancy. Okay,
I'm not getting off the diet yet, brother. I got still a few more pounds to lose. I'm getting there. I'm striving, but I'm glad that you brought up Gardner Minshew because I want to speak upon this. Because, excuse me for a second. To the Raider fans that are questioning what's going on with this Gardner Minshew signing, here's my question that I have for certain Raider fans. Do you want Ryan Tannehill? Pretty sure you don't want that. He's in his late 30s. Okay. You don't want Ryan Tannehill.
Oh,
you
don't
want Ryan Tannehill. Did you want Russell Wilson? No, the fuck you did not want Russell Wilson. Because I didn't want Russell Wilson.
So here we go.
So there's no Tannehill and there's no Wilson. Did you want Joe Flacco? No, not for this team. Not when they're about to draft a rookie quarterback. No, you did not want Joe Flacco. So guess what? Gardner Minshew is only 27 years old. 27, 28 years old. Now, all those other quarterbacks I named, they're in their fucking 30s. He came in here understanding that the starting position is not given to him. And if you don't understand the reason why Gardner Minshew fits this team, just go watch his press conference and then go watch his one-on-one with Eddie Pascal. And then you will understand the reason why this young man fits this team. It's what Antonio Pierce has been asking for. So when someone signs with the Raiders, understanding that they fit what Antonio Pierce wants. Because if you've been listening, Antonio Pierce said this. There's not a lot of players that are Raiders. And he's picking players that fits what his goal is. Christian Wilkins is number one. Because listen to Christian Wilkins' press conference. He opened up by screaming the Raider chant. Number one, he won the press conference already right then and there. There's only one quarterback on the roster before Gardner Minshew signed his contract. So, again, I asked this question, Raider fans. Did you want Ryan Tannehill? And if there's anybody on here that says, yes, we take Ryan Tannehill, then you know what? You're banned from the Mizzle and Dub Show. I'm okay with having 99 or 100 subscribers. I'm good with that. Because Ryan Tannehill ain't it. Again, did you want Russell Wilson? No. If you did, again, I'm okay. 99, 100 subscribers, we're still good. We'll still make our way. You don't understand it. Why do you want Russell Wilson? He fits over there with Mike Tomlin. Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin, that's a fit. That's a thing that will kind of work because Mike Tomlin is going to build a defense around Russell Wilson, and all Russell Wilson got to do is just be Russell Wilson. That was not a fit in Las Vegas. He does not fit the vision that Antonio Pierce is trying to build. And then again, did you want Joe Flacco? No.
Great story, but doesn't fit doesn't fit what AP wants to do. Now,
Exactly. Exactly.
now,
So
now,
Gardner Minshew fits. He's young. He has experience. And guess what he can do that AP been preaching? He can move within the pocket. And all just look at Gardner Minshew's press conference when he got introduced as the Raiders quarterback, and then look at his interview that he had with Eddie Pascal, and then you tell me he does not fit in that he's going to be a competitive, and he damn near might make Aiden O'Connell a little bit better. No, he won't make Aiden O'Connell move out the pocket and do all the mobility things because that's not Aiden O'Connell things, but I believe he will push Aiden O'Connell. But I would not be mad if Gardner Minshew wins the starting position, depending on how we do in the draft if we don't get the quarterback that AP wants that we all know is Jaden Daniels or whoever we draft, because we're drafting a quarterback.
And not to mention, Gardner Minshew played well for the Colts this past season.
He played 13 games.
Had a winning
13 games.
Had a winning record with the Colts. They went 7-6 in the starts after Anthony Richardson went down, and they were
this close to the playoffs.
And they were one completed pass away on fourth down from winning the division.
And guess what? Both of their playoff hopes had to stay on the line when my Raiders had to play the Colts. Because if the Raiders would have won that game against the Colts, and then I believe they did win the next week, they would have been damn near had a slight chance to get in the playoffs. And so the coaching staff got a good look at Gardner in that game. But Gardner, matter of fact, damn it, wasn't he a winner in Jacksonville?
His first season in Jacksonville, he went 6-6. The second year,
okay, that's still 500.
Yeah, the second year in Jacksonville, not so much, but of course, and I don't want to throw salt on this wound, but Raider fans, you left Oakland with a bitter taste in your mouth because it was Gardner Minshew that came back and won the game.
He closed out Oakland
for the Raiders against the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. He closed out Oakland. I'm not even going off that. I'm just going off the demeanor that I saw in the press conference.
True, but my thing is this: the Raiders were up 16-3 at the half against Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders did not score at all in the second half in their final game.
I was at that game, right?
Yeah. You and my nephew were at the game.
That was his first NFL experience because I refused to take him to a Niner game as his first football experience. So you damn right that he was going to see the closeout of Oakland. And good thing we got the hell out of Dodge before that game ended because it got ugly in that Coliseum.
Really? What was there like fights amongst each other?
No, they were ripping out seats. They were just throwing stuff.
Oh wow!
They were pissed. They were just pissed off because of number one. You already know how the parking lot goes.
Yeah,
I ain't got to explain to you what happened in the parking lot. And then they sell liquor into the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Last game, and they lost.
Yeah.
Well, you knew they were throwing stuff at Derek Carr as he was leaving off the field.
Of course. But I mean, like I said, Minshew has talent. I mean,
he does.
The talent's been there since the talent has been there since Washington State. The man can throw the football, and like I said, the man played very well in the absence of Anthony Richardson in the Colts. So it makes all the sense. And plus, like I said, he can extend plays with his legs as it's proven. In addition to that, Amir Abdullah re-signs with the Raiders, and as you already mentioned, Harrison Bryant joining Michael Mayer in the tight end slot or in the tight position with a 1-year deal.
Good blocking tight end for the running game.
So the team in Inglewood gets rid of both of their receivers. They release Mike Williams. They trade Keenan Allen to the Bears. which I know makes Mizzle very happy because he doesn't have to deal with Keenan Allen or Mike Williams anymore, or Austin Eckler for that matter.
Well, before you continue, brother, they traded away a staple.
Mm-hmm.
They traded away somebody but you restructured Bosa, who can't stay healthy a whole year. I understand Khalil Mack because Khalil Mack is going to give you everything. Trust me. I know.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the dark side before he traveled. But
Mm-hmm.
Bosa can't stay healthy.
To
but
which,
you decided to get rid of somebody that's consistent. I don't get it.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Okay. Tell me again, John Gruden, Tell me, John Gruden, again, how does training Khalil Mack improve your football team? It's okay, I'll wait.
But then you get on TV and say, we need a pass rusher. Idiot, you had one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You did. You sure did.
Yeah.
But
right in your backyard.
I mean, Keenan Allen has been a staple of consistency. I mean, all he does is just make catches, and is one of the best route runners in football. I mean, good Lord. If the Bears do decide to keep Justin Fields, Keenan Allen is going to help that man immensely in becoming a better passer.
Speak on it, brother.
And learning how
Speak on it.
And learning how to throw receivers open because, like I said, Keenan Allen is one of the best route runners in football. And not only is that going to help Justin Fields, that's also going to help and enhance DJ Moore. That's only going to make him better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I will say the Bears should keep Justin Fields and let him get together with Keenan Allen and let game. Yes, and you add DeAndre and you add DeAndre Smith.
Bostic, I hope you are still listening and watching because I sent you a text the moment that tampering happened because DeAndre Swift was the first person off the board.
First running back.
And he went to the Bears. No, the first fucking player, bro. The first player. When the tampering opened up, that's the first announcement that was made was DeAndre Swift. He set the market. And when that happened, I said, you got yourself a damn good running back. And now they got the receiving. And I believe, you know what? I believe we had this discussion on our previous shows, and we said the Bears were in a good situation.
Just real quickly, the Chargers didn't do much. They signed Gus Edwards. They get Will Dissly a tight end and Alohi Gilman.
Whatever.
The other team in Inglewood, who the Chargers are playing to rent their stadium for home games, Jonah Jackson, 3-year deal. Gar Kevin Dotson, 3-year. Colby Parkinson, 3-year deal. Darius Williams, 3-year deal, and Demarcus Robinson, 1-year deal by receiver. The Dolphins, Anthony Walker, 1-year deal. Adding Jonnu Smith, which is going to help Tua. A good signing there, 2 years, $2 million.
That was huge, per se.
Jordan Brooks coming to Miami is a big deal. 3 years, $30 million. Aaron Brewer, good center, 3-year deal. Robert Jones resigns. Jordan Poyer, the former Bill, stays in the division.
We know why he did that. He did that.
Oh yeah, he wants to go. He wants to go buffalo hunting in the Oregon Trail in South Florida.
Just like Aaron Jones going to the Vikings. You know why he did that.
Nick Needham signs there, and then also adding Shaquille Barrett for 1 year is going to help that defense. Sirian Neal, 1-year deal. Salvin Ahmed resigns with the Dolphins. Jake Bailey, punter, resigns, and Kendall Fuller, former Commander, joining Miami.
Damn it, I would have loved to have him on squad
in South Florida. As mentioned, Aaron Jones putting on the purple after wearing the Green Bay green and gold for a long time. He definitely will be the bell cow in Minnesota. Them adding Jonathan Greenyard, former Texans, a huge signing. Definitely will take the sting of not having Hunter. adding Blake Cashman, former linebacker. That's a good signing.
Yes.
Adding Andrew Van Ginkel, edge rusher, is a good signing. Sam Darnold with a chance to be the guy in Minnesota signing a 1-year deal. David Quinsberry, offensive lineman, resigns. Brandon Powell resigns, wide receiver. Johnny Munt, tight end, resigns. John Parker, one more kicker, 1-year deal. Jonathan Bullard resigns, and former Raider Jerry Tillery, 1-year deal to join the Vikings. Certainly, Gerard Mayo was very busy in his first offseason running the ship in New England. Mike Owinu, signing with the Patriots. Hunter Henry resigning with the Patriots. Anthony Jennings, 3-year deal. Kyle Duggar, 1-year deal. Jacoby Brissett brought back to the Patriots to perhaps be the starter. Of course, he was originally drafted by the Patriots. Kendrick Bourne re-signing with the Patriots, and Kendrick Bourne has had a very solid career since leaving the Niners. He has played very well for the Patriots in Foxborough. Antonio Gibson leaving the Commanders to come to New England. Him and Stevenson could be a very nice tandem in the backfield for the Patriots. Jalen Reagor, 1-year deal. Chukwuma Okafor, offensive tackle, signing with the Patriots. Josh Uche, 1-year deal. Christian Ellis resigns. But Sion Takitaki leaving the Browns to come to the Patriots for 2 years. Austin Hooper, Austin Hooper, 1-year deal. Alex Austin re-signing for the Patriots. And Tyrone Wheatley Jr., offensive lineman, signing a 1-year deal with the Patriots, of course. Son of the Michigan legend and longtime fan favorite of the Raiders, Tyrone Wheatley Sr. For the Saints, the Honey Badger resigns for 2 years. They, of course, released Michael Thomas, the wide receiver. Willie Gay Jr. signing a 1-year deal for the Saints. And one of my favorite players to watch, and like him, he's a better human being than a football player, but I love watching him play. Demario Davis re-signing with the Saints. Just good to see that number 56 still staying in black and gold for the Saints. Of course, for the East Rutherford Giants, Jermaine Luminor, former Raider, 2 years, $14 million. Isaiah McKenzie,
no spoiled milk on that one.
Isaiah McKenzie, former Bill, but more importantly, Bulldog joins the Giants. Devin Singletary joining the Giants after, of course, we'll get to Saquon eventually. Drew Lock signing a 1-year deal with the Giants. Had one of his best moments leading a comeback win for the Seahawks on Monday night, which was an emotional win for him, but good for him. Longtime Packer John Runyon goes to the Giants. And, of course, maybe a steal for the Giants. Brian Burns joining Thibodeau in the front four for the Giants on the defensive side of the ball.
That was good. That was real good.
For the other team in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Tyrod Taylor joining to back up Aaron Rodgers for a 2-year deal. John Simpson, 2-year deal. Greg Zuerlein, the long Z, 2-year deal to stay there. Thomas Morstead resigning the punter. Morgan Moses in a trade from the Ravens. And, of course, the big signing for the Jets, in addition to Javon Kinlaw, was Tyron Smith, the longtime all-pro Cowboy left tackle there to protect the blind side of Aaron Rodgers. Now, yes, as we said, he is 33 years old, but when he's right, he is still one of the best tackles in football. And if he's right, he will definitely protect number 8 back there throwing the football, as the Jets, of course, doing what they set out to do, which is beef up that offensive line. So adding Smith, Simpson, and Moses, having Moses on the right side at right tackle, and, of course, Tyron Smith at left tackle certainly should help improve the Jets. And
that's a lot of beef.
Yeah, that is a lot of beef. And perhaps keep Aaron Rodgers upright in 2024. The Eagles, losing Fletcher Cox to retirement. They re-signed Brandon Graham for 1 year.
Much respect.
Great career by Fletcher Cox. It's going to be weird not seeing that 91 in the green and white for the Eagles. But they did add Bryce Huff, which is a good signing. former Jet, signs there. As mentioned by Mizzle, C.J. Garner-Johnson returning home to the Eagles for 3 years. Braden Mann, punter, staying. Rick Lovato, long snapper, staying. Zach Braun staying for 1 year. Jake Elliott, the kicker, staying there for 4 years. Julian Okuwara, linebacker, staying there. And I'm not even going to pronounce this last name. Albert, the Big O, was the former Bronco tight end. He's 1 year deal with the Eagles.
Just call him Moose.
Dickerson, 4 years, $84 million. But of course, the big signing for the Eagles, one Saquon Barkley coming back home to Pennsylvania to stick to the Giants twice a year, 3-year deal to join that backfield with.
You saw that coming, though. You saw that
Jalen
coming.
Hurts and joining AJ Brown and Mr. Smith in that offensive playmaking ability for the Eagles. And then all they do is just win. All they do is just seem to get it right. But a long snapper, Christian Kuntz, signs with the Steelers. Dante Jackson in the trade with Deontay Johnson joins the Steelers secondary. Of course, we already talked about Russell Wilson. But the one that really sent eyeball shocking is you're going to have Patrick Queen and one TJ Watt in the same defense. Yikes.
That's scary. That's scary.
I can only imagine how big Mike Tomlin's eyes got when Mr. Rooney told him, Coach, we're adding Patrick Queen to your team.
Stays in the division.
Yes, stays in the division. Now wearing the black and gold of the Steelers, and that's only going to help him, Casey Hayward, and TJ Watt on the same defense, along with. Scary. Very, very scary.
I don't like it. I do not like it.
The other team that my co-hosts despise, mainly because of my fan base, they re-signed George Odom, special teams, a guru, for 2 more years. They re-signed Colton McKivitz, which I know some of the fan base is asking why. He was serviceable last season.
Cat body. That's a cat body.
He's there for 1 year, $7 million. But also, John Feliciano staying for another year in Santa Clara. Played solid at right guard at times.
He's been solid sticking around.
Yeah, he has. Yes, he has. But the signing that I like in the trade was adding Malik Collins to be up front next to Javon Hargraves. Certainly is going to help. Of course, also adding Leonard Floyd to be on the other side of Bosa helps. Yetur Gross-Matos, former Panther, signs for a 2-year deal. Jordan Elliott signs a 2-year deal. And Brandon Allen will be there to be the backup for Brock Purdy in 2024. For the Seahawks, not looking forward to see Leonard Williams for the next 3 years, twice a season. But the Seahawks give him a nice advance. Noah Fant staying in Seattle for 2 more years. Artie Burns re-signing in Seattle. They added Rashawn Jenkins for 1 year. They added center Nick Harris. And in a trade with the Commies, Sam Howell, bringing his talents to the Pacific Northwest with a chance to perhaps be the quarterback of the future, which right now Geno Smith is still the quarterback of the present. But, I mean, Sam Howell's not bad in Washington.
No.
He threw the
ball
a lot
of interceptions.
That too. But, I mean,
when he was on, he was on.
If put together right, Sam Howell throwing the ball to Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, that could be some problems. And not to mention, you have Mr. Kenneth Walker III in that backfield to hand off the ball to. Not looking forward to seeing that twice a year. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I know this made Oos and Kay very happy, of course, Mike Evans re-signing for 2 more years. It would have been hard to see him in something other than the pewter of the Buccaneer colors.
I agree.
Antoine Winfield Jr. Resigns, got the franchise tag. Chase McLaughlin resigns 3 years to be the Buccaneers kicker. Levante David re-signing 1 year. One thing we forgot to mention: Devin White signs a 1-year deal with the Eagles, so you'll have Devin White in the Eagles defense now. Forgot to mention that. It's going to be weird to see Devin White wearing Eagle colors. Yeah, it's going to be weird to see him wearing Eagle colors.
Yeah.
Levante David, 1-year deal. Greg Gaines, defensive lineman, resigns. Chase Edmonds resigns. Yeah. And former Jet Jordan Whitehead going to the Buccaneers for 2 years.
Oh.
And, of course, this made the Ooze very happy as Reagan Mayfield, as he likes to call him, resigns for 3 years at $150 million, which he had definitely earned. Well deserved. Played very well.
Yeah.
For the Titans, Awuzie, 3 years for the Titans. Tony Pollard now comes to Tennessee to try to be the guy in Tennessee. Lloyd Cushenberry, 4-year deal. Former Charger Kenneth Murray coming to Tennessee. Morgan Cox, long snapper, resigns. Westbrook Akinihi resigns there. Mason Rudolph signs for 1-year deal to back up Will Levis. Nick Folk, longtime kicker, still kicking the game, 1-year deal for the Titans. But them signing Calvin Ridley away for 4 years, $92 million to give Will Levis another target to go alongside DeAndre Hopkins there in Tennessee. And to top it off, the commies, Adam Peters, his first GM job. Now, this signing I really like.
Didn't go somewhere.
Yeah. Frankie Louvu signing a 3-year deal to come to the Commanders. Good linebacker. Dorrance Armstrong, defensive end, 3-year deal. Tyler Biadasz, 3-year deal to come and play center. Austin Eckler, I don't know why he decided to come play on the most horrible turf in football, but he signs a 2-year deal with the Commanders. Marcus Mariota coming to the Commanders for a 1-year deal. Zach Ertz, a 1-year deal. Nick Allegretti, 3 years. Cleveland Farrell, who had a very good year with the Niners before he ended the season with an injury. He was solid. He signs a 1-year deal. Jeremy Chin, a 1-year deal. Brendan McManus, 1-year deal. Tyler Ott, long snapper, 3-year deal. And Jeremy Reeves, 2 years for the Commanders. So that is your latest up-to-edition signings by free agents here in the NFL, and I'm pretty sure there's still some more to go.
A ton. Teams still got a bunch of money to spend.
As this happens. Yeah, that's true too. So, what do you think to make of all this free agency madness, my friend?
It's been all over the place.
Yeah, it has. It has.
A few signings that I thought that would go the way they would go. Kind of saw that teams wanted to bolster up some of their roster and stuff like that. But to see how the running backs came off the board real fast. Like I said, DeAndre Swift was the first tampering player to be signed. And to see how the running backs, seeing Josh Jacobs leave Vegas. But I kind of felt that was going to happen. But just to see where he went was like, oh, okay, I see how this is going. And so, free agency, this is why we have it for the Shockers. Team players that want to sometimes leave for the money. Let's be real, it's for the money. But some of these players want to move to try to help out another organization. Mm-hmm. Wilkins got paid all that money, but if you listen to his press conference, they want to
I also
be
forgot
here. It's the money.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Deb. You say you got something?
Mm-hmm. I forgot to mention another signing that I did that my team. I was just saying another signing that my team did, that I like that my team did that I forgot to mention was them signing former Packer linebacker Devondre Campbell to the team, which he was very good at Green Bay. He will be a nice addition. Again, like I said, definitely trying to. As Orange Cassidy makes his first appearance, but obviously they're trying to fill that void that Dre Greenlaw will not be there for half of the year. There he goes again. But that was a good signing. Originally drafted by the Falcons, then signed with the Cardinals, and then came to Green Bay. But he was an All-Pro in 2021. So basically, he is replacing the Kendricks signing.
Okay.
So I'm throw with that signing. Still gonna be weird to see Kirk Cousins in that Falcons red and black.
Facts.
But apparently the Falcons and Raheem Morris are gonna go for it. And still, there's still some good people out there still that have not been signed.
A lot.
Justin Simmons being one of them, which is
He'll land soon.
Oh, he definitely will. He definitely will land somewhere for sure.
Yeah.
If I can see, if I can find a list of, let's see here, if I can find the list of who is still out there. If the doggone page would load. Because, of course, sometimes technology just wants to be a pain.
Always does. Always. Never
still
doubt.
Loading. So here we go. Well, while that loads, of course something is wrong. As we'll wrap it up very shortly, but real quickly, let's get to the recap of what happened in the association on this past Friday. Suns beat the Hornets 107-96. The Heat beat the Pistons 108-95. Magic beat the Raptors 113-103. Pelicans beat the Clippers 112-104. Jazz beat the Hawks 124-122. And the Nuggets are officially the number 1 seed in the Western Conference as they beat the Spurs.
Did he wake up with
117-106. And to answer your question, no, he didn't. He was more scoring than passing and rebounding. He had 31 points.
Shocking.
7 points, 5 assists, which it is shocking. But it was mainly the bench that played well for Denver, as Watson had 10 off the bench. Holiday had 13 off the bench. Braun had 13 off the bench for the Nuggets, as Jokic had 13, Porter had 7, Murray had 15. As the Nuggets, as mentioned, are now the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Of course, like I said, that cat injury is hurting the T-Wolves in a big way, as the T-Wolves have now gone all the way down to the 3rd seed. So right now, standings in the West as it stands, Denver 1 seed, OKC 2, Timberwolves 3, Clippers 4, Pelicans 5. The Kings out of the play-in. They're currently the 6th seed, but the Suns and Kings could flip-flop. So right now in the play-in, it is the Suns, Mavericks, Lakers, and Warriors, 7 through 10. But the Houston Rockets are right there knocking on the door. In the East, we already know that the Leprechauns have already clinched the playoff spot.
Boo.
And holding on to that 1 seed and overall best record in the association at 52-14. It certainly does help when you go 30-3 on the parquet floor inside the TD Garden. That's for certain. That certainly does help.
That's nasty.
That's extremely nasty. Obviously, best home record in the NBA, and the second best record belongs to the Nuggets at 27-6. But one thing we do know is the Nuggets did sweep the season series from the Celtics this year. That we do know.
That's right. They did. That's right.
Milwaukee currently at number 2, the Cavaliers at number 3, but that can flip-flop because the Bucks and the Cavs are matched up in the same loss column, but the Bucks have 1 more win than Cleveland. Knicks, the 4th seed. The Orlando Magic at the 5th seed. Good for them.
What did I say?
Yeah,
on the NBA show.
You've been on the wagon all season long with the Orlando Magic. True enough. Indiana at 6. The Heat are at 7, but that can flip-flop because the Pacers, Heat, and Sixers all have identical records, so there could be a lot of flip-flopping between 6, 7, and 8. But as it stands right now in the play-in, it is Miami 7, Philadelphia 8, Bulls, and the Hawks up the rear in the...
We might not even make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that Embiid injury is definitely hurting big time.
Thanks, Kuminga.
It's bittersweet that it had to involve both the teams that you root for. That's the sucky part.
Yeah,
Very sucky. The very sucky part. But the recap of tonight's or not recap, but the lineups are going on tonight here in the NBA. We'll talk about that game last because discuss. All right, on the bill for the NBA tonight on this Saturday on the 16th. The Warriors are playing the Lakers in LA, so damn it, Warriors beat LA. Damn right. Anyhow, and that is that's in prime time on ABC. To which
it'll be
the
in
Lakers, which the Lakers are coming off getting season swept by the Sacramento Queens. Yes, the Queens beat them in all 4.
You let them like games. You let them like their damn team. I ain't got nothing to say to you, Laker fans.
That's the first time the Kings have swept the season series from the Lakers since the 2015-2016 NBA season. That's a long time ago. I think DeMarcus Cousins was still on the Kings the last time that happened. Cavaliers, Rockets, Nets, Pacers, Sixers at home against the Hornets, Pelicans at home against Portland, Bulls at home against the Wizards, Grizzlies at home against the Thunder, Timberwolves on the road against Minnesota. And closing it out, the Knicks making their trip to Sacramento.
Yes,
and if I were there, I probably would go just to see Jalen Brunson live, just because I love the way he plays basketball. But that is your lineup for the association on the 17th or the 16th of March. So It is nap time for the both of us.
Boy, isn't it?
But for me, thank the good Lord, I made it to my Friday. But nevertheless, we thank everybody that watched on either both of our Facebook pages and on Twitter and on our Instagram feed, as we definitely appreciate all of you guys. As we say, we do this. Everybody for watching. As we are 8 days away from opening day of the A7FL. And Elijah, to answer your question before we sign off, they are taking phone calls about Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. I don't know if they're going to be traded. I mean, as Jason Lockenforth said on the interview with the Morning Roast guys with Bonte Hill and Joe Shashky, the Butcher Boy, Jason Lockenforth said, I mean, teams are always calling to inquire about players because that's just
they're still calling about Devontae.
That's just what they do. But nonetheless, it remains to be seen. I mean, if they feel like they have an offer that they can't refuse, they might take it. We don't know, but that's just why we have insiders. So if you see Lockenfora or Schefter or Rappaport or Daniel Jeremiah saying something, then more than likely
where there's smoke, there's fire.
That's for sure. So we will keep you posted, and we will be watching and paying attention like everybody else is. But nonetheless, for Miles Morales or Peter Parker, I don't know which version of Spider-Man he is tonight, but
this is Miles. No, this is Peter Parker.
Oh, he's going Peter Parker.
With a mixed in with a Miles Morales. But let's also give a shout out to the 10 viewers that have hung with us.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all for staying up late night with us from Friday going into early Saturday morning. But also, don't forget, later on today, Talking Ish with myself and Chris Vera, as we will have our own version of what we saw in free agency and break that down. And probably talk crap about Quan's Lakers because he's a damn Laker fan. But Quan's my guy. Shout out to Quan59, our sound engineer in the studios in downtown Vegas. But nonetheless, me and Mizzle are going to take naps because we do have to do that thing that is called work. But nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning into episode 173 of the Mizzle Dub Show. He's Mizzle. I'm Dub. And as always, it's 5 o'clock some damn where. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Be safe wherever you may be. And
the weather is becoming beautiful.
I would so play Superman's theme from Zack Snyder's Justice League right now because this guy in the sun, he's like Superman. And even though he's not the biggest fan of Kal-El, but he'll do the Kal-El pose like, "Son, come to me." He really will do that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Mizzle and Dub Show. And as we ride out, enjoy Super Dope Beatmaker beat for our show. Peace out. Good show, my brother.
You guys take care of yourself and each other. Always a pleasure. And we'll see you for episode 174. And you've been watching the Mizzle and Dub Show.